Studio owners, stick around. In this video, we are going to dive in on how to develop a consistent brand identity. Hi, I'm McKenna. I'm the creative manager here at Loud Rumor, and today I am joined virtually by Alex. He's our copywriter. How you doing, Alex?
Doing great. Thanks, McKenna.
Awesome. And we're going to dive into developing a consistent brand identity. But before I get into that, I just want to mention Alex is our copywriter on our agency side. And on our agency team, we have a team of graphic designers, video producers, copywriters, campaign managers, and account managers. That whole team is working on your ad. So if you are interested in learning more about that and how you can work with Loud Rumor, just go ahead and click the link in the description below. Jump on a 100% free strategy call. We'll learn more about you. You can learn more about us, and we'll get you going there. So click that link in the description below. All right, so brand identity. I feel like sometimes I struggle with my own identity, so I can imagine. But you know, for studio owners, I'm sure your brand identity is something you might struggle with at home. Why do studio owners need to identify their brand?
Yeah, so your brand, your identity is going to help you really find your audience, right? And there's a concept in creative writing. It's called the universal paradox, which it doesn't make, it seems like it shouldn't make sense. That the more specific you are, actually, the more people that you will attract. And that kind of goes against the logic that, you know, you want to be as vague as possible to attract everyone in. It actually, studies have found that it's the opposite of that actually connects to an audience.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was at a conference and the founder and CEO of Lululemon was speaking, and he talked about brand identity. He's like, listen, this is my ideal client. It's a 25-year-old woman who works this job and she dresses like this. And it was very, very precise and structured of who that person was, and it's very specific. Who should be like the face of like a studio owner's or studio's like post?
Yeah, so when you're thinking about kind of really creating that brand identity and what to focus or what to highlight, you want to think about an avatar, right? Kind of what you just said with the owner of Lululemon, who's thinking about, because that's what he was describing an avatar, that having like a specific person that you like, not like a whole group or this or that, but a specific person that might be part of these different groups. Speaking directly to that person is going to be much more like creating content that like, you know, your photos, your stories, your posts, your copy, everything. If you tailor it to that one person, you'll actually end up speaking to the larger groups that they represent.
So how do we get those types of people to like lean into our brand?
Yeah, so you're going to want to create trust, and creating trust is being consistent, right? And being consistent doesn't necessarily mean being repetitive. Being consistent means that you're using specific diction that those communities would relate to. Same thing with kind of the tone of your writing. Being aware of, in different circles, what certain words can, you know, literally mean and then also be interpreted as. I think a really good example is kind of like the ellipses, like the ... right? Yeah. Depending on the context, right? It can either be like inferring that a list is going on longer, or it could be like frustration or skepticism, or, you know, it all depends on the context.
I know my husband, when I give him the ... text, it's not a good one. So the context is a little different though. Next, let's talk about 3 tips when it comes to consistent copy.
Yeah, so kind of going off of what we were just talking about before, really focusing in on your word choice, right? The sentence structure, and the overall tone, kind of the atmosphere of your writing. So when we're thinking about the word choice, like different communities have specific jargon, right? And like specific words. I know I've been skateboarding for about 20 years, and you know, if someone says that they did a wheelie or like a barrel roll, I automatically know, okay, this person has no idea what they're talking about. And on the other end of that, like part of like in the fitness world, there is specific jargon, and there are key words that if you use those words, it's very clear to people who are in the know that you have no idea what you're talking about. So you're going to want to actually do some investigating beyond just Google or this or that to see what your avatar, what these communities are actually engaging in.
Awesome. Alex, anything else to add to developing a like super consistent brand identity?
Like anything, this is a topic where there's a lot. It's it's too much for one video to contain, but I think that these are some really great tips to getting off start to really start developing that brand identity.
Yeah, and you when you first start working with like a new member when they join Loud Rumor, you sit down with them to really go over that, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. If a member doesn't have one set up yet, I help them establish that, and stick to it. And if they already have one, then I make sure that everything that we create or that I'm creating for them is adhering to those guidelines.
That's awesome. So yeah, if you guys are interested in working with Loud Rumor, and definitely click that link in the description below, and we'll get on a free strategy call. You can learn more about Loud Rumor and how we can help your fitness studio. Awesome, Alex. Thank you so much for joining again. We always love having you on.
Thanks, McKenna.
And if you like this video and you want to get down this YouTube rabbit hole and just watch more, binge watch all of our videos, give it a like, share it, leave a comment, ask any other questions, and subscribe so you can get more videos just like this one.